Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. My name's Adam. This is going to be Saturday night special episode 104. Alright, so this week we got more of the same, okay? We've got some viewer appreciation mail, and I've got some machine work to share with you, and we've got a couple more pictures to share for the Abom Photo Challenge, okay? So, and I got a couple updates I want to share with you. We'll talk about real quick, and then we'll get into everything. First thing I wanted to do was to start off by giving a mention to Sigmund Forseth. He was, I mentioned him a couple episodes back. He was the one that sent me all of this Sandvik carbide right here, all these different inserts. And I didn't realize it that Sigmund actually had a letter that was underneath the basically it was like looked like a packing slip, but it was all taped to the front of the box underneath the address piece, and I didn't realize that was underneath there. So Sigmund, I really apologize about that I missed your letter the other day, and I went back because I still had the box here after you had mentioned that, and read your letter. So I wanted to give him a mention because I failed to before, but he's been working on an American pacemaker lathe, and he has a channel that he's been putting some videos up of that work there also, as well as some other things, I believe. So I'm going to put his link in the cards there so you can click on it if you're interested and visit his channel there. All right, so I just wanted to give that a mention, Sigmund. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry that I missed your letter the first time. It was just a total oversight there, okay? So thank you again, buddy. All right, so got a couple things that I want to talk to you about. Lately here, you know, I haven't really been showing any footage in the shop here, in my shop, but I've been sharing some stuff that I've been doing at work down there. And that's simply because I've been really busy at work, and I've already mentioned this before. I'm just busy with other things too. I've got a little bit of repair that I'm trying to do to my house right now, so I got to spend time doing that a little bit, but we're just real busy at work, so we're all working overtime. We've been doing a lot of overtime, and by the time I get home, and you know, we have to work Saturdays, that's really only leaving me a day, and I'm not have a lot of chance to get out here and do stuff. But I still got projects planned. I've got the arm right here that we're going to build for the Kearney and Trekker, and the shaft that goes with it. You know, I've got that planned, and we're going to be doing that. That's my plan on being my next big project here, video series for the channel. Okay, so that should be coming pretty soon, I hope, whenever I get time to start on it, is that there. But there was a couple comments that was made that guys were saying, asking like, hey, we're going to see anything from your shop anymore, or just from the other place. But I'm very fortunate that I'm able to get a little bit of video of some of the other work that I do on the daily basis, and it's the same stuff that I do here. So I'm very lucky I get to do that, and I enjoy capturing some of that video and sharing with you. And I always try to get something that's a little bit different that I haven't shown before, or something maybe I haven't shown in a while, because I do a lot of repetitious type work, but every now and then I get something in that's different. Like today, I started a big job on the horizontal boring mill on the Kearns, and it's a facing job. It's not anything really significant, but I know you guys will enjoy seeing it because everybody always liked watching the board mill. So I've had the camera, and I'm taking some video of that too. And you know, so that'll come later in maybe a couple weeks or so. I've already got a few jobs that I've recorded, and one of those jobs I'm going to share with you tonight, and that's going to be some spray welding that I did on an electric motor shaft. It had a bad bearing fit, so I got a little bit of video of that, and that's going to be in tonight's S&S. And I got another video that should be coming out right behind S&S, and that's going to be about a brazing job that I did on a cast iron pump housing that was busted and cracked, and it needed to be repaired. And they brought it to me to see if I could do it, and I took the job on. I felt like I could handle it, so I took it on, and I took video of the whole thing. So it'll be a two-part, and part one will be coming out tonight, and next week hopefully I can get that second part put together, and you'll be able to see it next Saturday. All right, so hope you guys enjoy that. So just keep those things in mind. I'm trying to continue bringing the machining footage for you, and as well as keep doing my Saturday night thing, because I like it, and most people do enjoy it. And you know, the viewers are always just so generous sending me things here and tools and stuff, so I always like sharing that on video. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get to some viewer mail, and we'll check out some of those photo challenge pictures. Okay, our first package we're going to look at this week, this comes from Rex, and he is from Cedar Spring, Michigan. Yeah, and he sent me a t-shirt here, and it's one of the Gildan brand t-shirts right here, and it's sort of a funny shirt that he thought was pretty cool. He wanted to send me, and in his letter here, he says the tongue-in-cheek is, "I work at the airport." So let's see what is on the shirt here. All right, if assholes could fly, this place would be an airport. So, all right, that's a cool shirt right there. Thank you, Rex, for that. I'll enjoy wearing that around here, okay? I appreciate it, buddy. All right, so we got another package all the way from Germany right here, and we got a book, and this was sent from Harold Quint, and he is from Germany. A very nice book called Mechanical and Metal Trades Handbook. And I've just lightly thumbed through this book a couple of times, and I can see that it does have a lot of really nice information in it. It's like a modern, up-to-speed book on just about everything that I'm seeing in this book right here is things that I see around the shop. There's a lot of metalworking stuff in here, carbide insert information, cutter information, just lots of good info. That's a nice book right there. I've never seen this one before, but it's very well put together. I like it's got the indexes right there, the little finger grabs, so that's pretty cool. So nice book, Harold. I'm going to take this inside and start looking through it and see what I can find, and hopefully it'll work out and I can learn a little bit more out of this thing. I really appreciate it. All right, thank you very much. So our next little group of items right here, this was all sent in by Lou Dalgard. He's from Chicago, Illinois, and he sent me an email a couple weeks ago and showed me some pictures of this guy right here and said that he wanted to send it my way. It's a Quill Master, and it's made for Bridgeport Mills, but it also fits on my do-all there. It's the same size as a Bridgeport. So it's actually made for holding some really tiny end mills and doing some really fine intricate work, which is really not what I'm known for doing. But there has been a couple times that I needed some capacity like that. It would have been nice to have that. But you use a 5/8 collet, and you slide it up in the collet and tighten it up. Then you tighten it around the quill. And you can loosen these up here, these bolts, and actually rotate this around if you need to get up inside something or approach from a different angle. But he had found this. He said he found it in a scrap pile, and the shaft was broke inside of it. So he made a new shaft and put it together, and it works great. So I already tested it out. I put it over there. And by the way, it is a speed increaser, so it increases it by 50% of whatever your spindle speed is. So that do-all there has sort of a low speed. I forget what it tops out at, about 2,200, I think. So I can go around 5,400 RPM with this, you know, at the tip right here. He also sent along a few packs of these right here, and these are all number 77 or 18 thousandths diameter carbide end mills. Little tiny guys right there, man. If you just breathe on those wrong, they'll snap. So, and I've already got a few other ones like this that a couple other guys have sent in the past also. So there's a few packs of those. He also threw in 3 of these 9mm by 1.0 gun taps, 3 fluted gun taps. So that's pretty cool. 9mm, I think that's a little bit of an odd size. I don't recall having a tap that size before, but you never know. So we'll put that with the metric taps. So Lou, that's an awesome tool, man. I really appreciate you thinking about me, and you know, what can I say? Thank you very much. You know, this is a very generous gift, and I really hope that I can put this to good use around here, and hopefully find something, a job that we can actually show it being used on video here in the future. Okay, so thank you very much. So I want to go ahead and give mention to our 2 entries for this week for the Abom Photo Challenge. And our first photo, I'm going to go ahead and throw it up there. This is from Kimmo, and he is from Finland. In the picture there, you can see my logo leaned up in the snow. That's on his dock. He calls that his beach there, which is a lake, and it's completely frozen over and got lots of snow on top of it. And the 2 pipes you see there in the picture is actually like stairs that go down to the water there. So it looks pretty cold there. And that is a pretty cool picture, Kimmo, so I appreciate you sending that in. And it was nice talking to you. He did say that he is, you know, he does some hobby machining, but what he likes to do is build and race rally cars. And he likes to build a lot of the parts themselves and put them cars together. He's got some machinery in his workshop that he uses, such as lathes and mills and stuff like that. So thank you very much for the photo there, Kimmo, and I was glad to share it here on the video. All right, we'll move on to our second picture now, and this is from Bruce Gratton. And Bruce has been a long-time viewer and commenter on the channel there. He usually sends me emails, but Bruce is standing in front of a very famous restaurant called Claudio's. I bet you a lot of people probably know about this place. And I'm just going to read his email here since it's a little easier on me. But so that is a picture of Bruce in front of Claudio's, one of the signs there, and then also in front of the restaurant. And that's him holding a big old wrench that he put my name on. But he says that Claudio's is in Greenport, New York, and it's been family owned since 1870, 4th generation owners now. And it's registered as the oldest family run business in the USA. It was made famous during Prohibition when the rum runners would drive their high-speed boats under the tavern and hoist the bootleg booze up through a trapdoor behind the bar that is still there today. And all during the summer months, crowds of people come to Claudio's restaurant, the dock by boat, the clam bar, and the gift shop. So that must be a pretty popular place and got some good food up there, man. So Bruce, I enjoyed the pictures. Thank you for sending them to me, and it's always nice hearing from you every week. I really appreciate the emails that you send me, and thanks for sending in the pictures, and I was happy to share them on video here, okay? So if anybody else out there wants to share a picture, send it on in. I'll throw my email link up there again for you to see. The photo challenge, if you didn't watch from the beginning, a couple episodes back, if you ask me, by the way, I was going to point this out. If you want to send me an email and you like an actual photo of my art, my intro art with the mic, I'll email it to you, no problem. So just let me know. But that's what most people are doing, is using the Abom logo and take a picture in some kind of famous place around the world. It doesn't matter what it is. If you think it's an iconic place or something famous, show it to me, man. I'd like to see it, because I enjoy seeing different places from around the world and interacting from viewers and people who watch the videos and seeing where they're from. You know, it's really cool. So send me a picture if you want to, all right? So thanks a lot, Kimmo and Bruce, for this week's pictures. All right, so I've got one more thing I want to share with you real quick and let you know about, and that is another video that I'm actually in on YouTube. So the company that I work with is Motion Industries. They have their own studio up there at our home base up in Birmingham, and I went up there back in December and got on the set with them, with Tom, and did a video with them. They asked me if I wanted to come up and do a video, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. So I decided to talk about a little bit of hydraulics and really just kind of discuss a little bit of what I do as a machinist and my role that I play there at the shop. So that's what we did. We just kind of had a conversation. There was no script. Me and Tom just talked it out, and had a hydraulic cylinder in front of us, and discussed it. He asked me some questions, and I had a good time. So anyway, that video just went live, and it's on the Motion Industries YouTube channel. So I'll have a link there in the cards, and I'll also drop one in the description box that you can click on if you'd like to go see that video. It's not very long. It's about 5 minutes, and it's one of the it's part of their series. They have a series called How To, MI How To, and there is a lot of interesting videos on there. They got quite a few. You can scroll through that list and see, and it's not really, it's not you know, it's a lot different than my kind of videos, but they're very informative, okay, on different products that my company sells. Whenever somebody needs a little bit of info on how something works or the proper ways to use a product, and that's one of the ways, that's one of the reasons why they like putting that series out there. It kind of helps their customers understand certain things, and so they're always coming up with new ideas for new how-to videos, and there's a lot of cool ones on there. And they did invite me back. They said if I'd like to come back and do another one, I was welcome to. So we'll have to try to think of another good topic that I can go up there and get on the set and film with Tom. So anyway, go check out that video. They probably appreciate that. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment on there. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you, okay? Okay guys, here's the spray welding job that we're going to do. That's an electric motor shaft there, and I just pointed out the bad bearing fit on the output end of the shaft there. It's got a little wear, so I need to do a repair on it. And just getting it indicated, I had already got it indicated before I hit record there, and I'm just showing get both ends true on each end. And from here you just go ahead and you grab your masking. I had a lot of guys ask me about masking. That's from Eutectic, and it's called Solution 103. You can buy it from Eutectic, and it's kind of like paint almost, and you just shake it up, brush it on to protect the areas that you don't want the metal to stick to. Just put a light coat on each side of it and let it dry. And then once it's dry, then you go back and you do your undercut. So I'll show you the process here along the way. There we are, masking it, and I've got to let that dry. I usually put a fan on or heat it with a torch just to dry it quickly. And then we'll go in and we'll undercut it, and we have to cut a very light thread on there, a fine thread, and then we'll set up for spraying, okay? Don't forget to wash your brush out when you use that masking compound. Don't let it dry on it. Okay, once your masking is dry, then you can come in and do your undercut. I typically like to use my threading tool for this because your corners need to be anywhere from 30 to 45 degrees. So the threading tool works perfect for that. And just use a fine feed. Don't feed it real fast across there. And go in. It depends on the diameter of the shaft. You're not supposed to go beyond 40 thousandths wall thickness on this. So, and that depends on the diameter of the shaft. Like up to 2 inch, I usually take about 20 thousandths, and then for each inch of shaft, I'll go another 10 thousandths up to 4 inches, taking that 40 thousandths if I need to go that deep. I don't always take it that deep. It just depends on the groove size that's cut in it or the amount of wear. So this is just a light amount of wear, so I probably took about 20 thousandths to 25 thousandths on this undercut here. Alright, so once you have your undercut done the way you want it, then you go back and you just cut a fine pitch thread across there. Anything, I'm just going to say 24, 36 threads, somewhere in that range, whatever's convenient. So, and I just do it a one-pass shot, dial in about 15 or 20 thousandths, and let it go. So the next step here, I got the torch lid off, and what we're going to do is a preheat on the shaft on just the area there that we're going to spray. And we preheat it to 200 degrees. And I do have a temp stick there that I use to check it. Just touch each side. Make sure you don't ever touch the surface that you're wanting to spray with anything, not even your fingers or anything. So we'll stop it, and I'll just touch the side, and you see that the temp stick's melting. So it's the temperature, so it's ready to spray. And I'm going to do 2 different passes here. And there I'm adjusting the amount of powder that I want to come out. Right? And we're going to make what I call a bond coat. And I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to adjust it to where it's blowing more powder out, and then I'm going to do a final buildup coat here. And then we have to stop periodically and check it on our diameter to make sure that we've got enough. And I like to go about 50 thousandths larger than the finished diameter. So after it cools down to where you can grab and hold on to it, and it's not very warm at all, you can go ahead and start doing your turning on it. And I'm just using a CNG 431 carbide insert tool right there. And you don't have a whole lot to take down, like I said, usually about 40 to 50 thousand. So I took a cleanup pass there, and I'm going to mic it. And we'll take a couple more passes across there to bring it down to size, okay? You might notice that I sped it up there, and what I'm doing is I'm taking a very light cut across there, which will be my semi-finished pass. And you speed it up, and you'll get a better finish out of that. So here I am on the finished pass. That's my final cut across there, and once I get through this, I'm going to back out and I'm going to go to the shoulder, and we're going to knock this extra buildup off the other diameter, the other shoulder there. You see it just flakes off there where it's stuck to the masking compound. And I'll do one more check with my mic and see that we're within size enough to where we can polish it and bring it down to where we need, about a 1/2 thousandths to 1/1000th of an inch. Now we're going to do some final polishing and blending and cleaning up the shaft. I'm using either some 120 or 180 grit, and we're polishing the masking compound off each side and the extra metal and the dust and stuff like that. And once we get the shaft kind of cleaned up on both sides there, then I'll focus on just the area where I sprayed and do a final polish there and bring it down to the size. And usually for a bearing drum, something about that size there, I think that was a 6309 or 6311, I can't recall exactly. And you've got about a 1/2 thousandths tolerance there to play with on the recommended size that it should be. Just depending on how much I need to remove is what determines what grit of paper I'm going to use. A lot of times I'll start with like a 180, and then I'll go to, or a 120, and you go to 180, and then Then I usually finish with a 220 and then a 400 grit. And then you can go with some gray Scotch Brite in the end, and it'll really brighten up that journal nice. But the spray welding material really will polish out nicely. Alright, so I got the journal done. I'm working on the end of the shaft right here. This would be like your coupling end. And it had quite a bit of rust on it, so I'm taking some memory and just giving it a nice polish. Try not to remove any off the diameter. You're going to remove a slight amount, but you shouldn't be messing with the fifth there. You're just lightly hitting it with the paper and removing that dust and cleaning it up. And you can take just a little tiny narrow strip of it and get down in those little radiuses and corner sections by the shoulder there. Really get that rust out of it and make the shaft look really nice. So here is where I'm going to do the final polish on the bearing journal. Really bring it out to a nice luster. I'm using some 220 that's really wore out, and you can hit it like that and it just makes it shine. It's like stainless steel. That's the 400 grit that I'm using there. And that's it, guys. There it is, finished up. Finished the size and polished, and giving it one last mic for a good check, and we're there. I hope you enjoyed.